The way. Twins, you stay in the back. Because tonight's Sami's night.
It's Saturday night. That means it's time for the Don Tony Show.
The wait all week long is finally over. Get Don Tony's perspective on current affairs in the world of pro wrestling and much more. The Don Tony Show.
And now your host, the man, the legend, Don Tony.
Well, we had a feeling last night. We talked about it last night. This was probably the last night for Sami Zayn in the Bloodline. But if you recall, yesterday we had a little twist. Sami Zayn quits the Bloodline. I would think hitting the tribal chief with a chair is your way of saying, I am out of the Bloodline. Now, unfortunately, that's got to come down. That's got to come down. It was great while it lasted. We're still not done. Now the big question is, what happens with Jey Uso? The Usos are tag team champions for Raw and SmackDown. They are not getting along. Jey Uso taking the side, well, I shouldn't say taking the side of Sami Zayn. He's confused right now. That's his Uso, Sami Uso. You know, just walking out on the Bloodline. What ramifications does that hold for Jey Uso? It's going to be really, really interesting going into the road to WrestleMania. I want to welcome everyone. It is, oh my God, it is Sunday morning, 12:32 a.m. You know, someone showed me early today a preview from some streaming media outlet that WWE was advertising 6.5 hours for the Royal Rumble tonight. Now, with the kickoff show, it was 5.5 hours, but Jesus, that's a long time. I expected 11:30, you know, we'll go off the air with the Royal Rumble. No, that shit didn't end until about 12:10, 12:15 this morning, but let me tell you something. I enjoyed the Royal Rumble tremendously. Were the Rumble matches something to remember? Yeah, they were. We had some awesome moments. Now, unfortunately, we had two scary moments in the Rumble. One everyone is talking about, and one you may have missed it. And look, there's a little bit of controversy. Now, listen, I have over 100 photos. I have a couple of video clips. It is not easy to watch this, document this for 4.5 hours, screenshot stuff, edit it, save it, resize it, and do everything 5 to 10 minutes after the Royal Rumble ends. I hope we have a smooth show tonight. I could just sit here and just talk for half an hour, as far as what I thought of the night, but I figured we need some visuals. We need some visuals. Now, before we get into the event itself and my thoughts, and I have a little thing to say about the internet IWC community once again. Man, they clickbaited a lot of you motherfuckers out there. And trust me, in the next 24 hours, they will be held accountable. You know, all we got to do is just keep throwing out straight up, honest shit. And people are taking notice. People are getting a little bit fed up. A little bit too much of the clickbait. How many sites were guaranteeing that The Rock was going to show up tonight? The Rock was going to win the Royal Rumble. Sami Zayn was one of the favorites to win the Royal Rumble. Yeah, what about this? This is the lead. This website is one of the most garbage sites around because all they do is search 100 different sites to try to find a little something, and then they throw it on social media before anyone else sees it, and they think they got it exclusive. This was the best one out of their little digs. The first surprise entrant for both Rumbles tonight would be number 3. Number 3 in the Royal Rumble tonight, if I remember correctly, was The Miz and Dana Brooke. Surprises my ass. Ridiculous. Jay White, The Rock, Steve Austin. Let me say this right off the bat. Did you see people early on tonight, about halfway through, complaining that the men's Royal Rumble match was not good at all, that the women's Royal Rumble match was a hot mess? They criticized the Bray Wyatt. This was for fucking Mountain Dew. This was for Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew paid a boatload of money to be part of the Royal Rumble. I got news for you. I think this guy paid a boatload of money to be part of the Royal Rumble. Oh, you ain't escaped me. Oh, no, I accidentally closed you? No. I could reset. Yeah, I think he paid to be in the Royal Rumble. It's amazing how many people out there are like, I never heard of this guy, before he popped up on WWE TV. Wear clean clothes. I mean, I should talk, but, we're at like 11:30 at night, and I'm going to listen to this Matarazzi perform. So, let me say this, okay? The reason why so many of the usual suspects were complaining about tonight's Royal Rumble is because for the last month and a half, they convinced you and they convinced themselves that The Rock was going to be in the Royal Rumble. Sami Zayn was going to enter the Royal Rumble. If The Rock is not part of the Royal Rumble, he'll show up at the end. My sources tell me that the Rock, even though he's teasing it, he's not there. He's actually there. They teased other people, Jay White and others. They teased so many people that didn't show. My point is, they convinced themselves for loads of surprises that did not happen. So when you convince yourself that this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. Oh, Bo Dallas, he's at the Rumble. He's a motherfucking agent for the company. Of course he's going to be there. Of course he's going to be on Raw. Of course he's going to be at the shows. Of course he's going to be on SmackDown. He's a fucking agent. But for weeks and weeks, they have convinced themselves, surprise, 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 surprise. And when 90% of them don't happen, they are let down. They're let down. See, if Christmas comes, and I ain't buying you no gifts for Christmas, if I ain't buying you no gifts for Christmas, you may hold out hope that maybe there's a little something under the tree from Don Tony, but you're preparing yourself no gifts under the Christmas tree. So when Christmas comes and you go under the tree, no gifts are there, like, motherfucker, there's no gifts. Damn. No, but if you convince yourself that the whole tree is going to be filled with lots of presents, that's the runoff of what we've been talking about. With some people, they get used to these crackerjack surprises. We had 59 technically surprises tonight. Nobody knew when people were coming out. How many of you read, Cody and Seth are going to be 1 and 2? They lied. It's amazing how much they got wrong. So when you convince yourself that all this shit is happening and it don't happen, you feel slighted. You feel let down. You feel disappointed. I was not disappointed tonight. I thought tonight's Royal Rumble did exactly what it needed to do. It progressed the road to WrestleMania, the storyline with Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and the Bloodline. It progressed the storyline with the Usos. Everything with the Bloodline is starting to fall apart. That is the biggest storyline for the last couple of years. Cody Rhodes, from dashing to Stardust to main eventing WrestleMania. He comes back. Oh, he's number 30. Oh, fuck, he's number 30. Motherfucker, he's going to win it. Motherfucker. So what? So what? By the way, all our predictions so far are right on the nose. We've been talking about 4 people heading to WrestleMania. And if you heard the predictions yesterday, I said Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch. And I said, if the Elimination Chamber ends up being Sami Zayn versus the Bloodline, and there isn't another title match on the men's side, that Cody Rhodes is going to win it tonight. So if you keep your eye on what's actually happening and not trying to be on Fantasy Island, Tattoo, welcome to Fantasy Island, you're not disappointed. You're not disappointed at all. We had a couple of returns tonight. One return that we discussed yesterday, and that was Nia Jax. Oh, she triggered a lot of people on social media tonight. I'm back, bitch. And if you think it was a one-time appearance, well, somebody sent me this little doozy today. Yeah, that apparently is the new Nia Jax shirt that is on sale. Now, yeah, she did get
it's going to take all these superstars.
Bye-bye. You know, now it's her versus the roster. You know, she's coming back as one of the most hated women on that roster. Look, the roster has changed. And I tell you, I enjoyed the Royal Rumble. And I have no issues with it all. Now, again, expectations, I think, were a little bit way too high for a lot of people out there. How do you tell me that this didn't progress a lot of very important matters that lead into WrestleMania? Think about the 2 tag team championships. That's one of the biggest parts of this storyline. Now you got both members of the USO at odds with each other. You know, so it's a lot of things to dissect tonight. Now, as I was going to say earlier, there's a little controversy tonight. And then we'll talk about the 2 injuries because I have video of one of them. I don't have video of the other one because most people didn't catch it and nobody bothered to post it. And honestly, with me trying to cap everything at the same time, I didn't have time to rewind video and screenshot and record it and upload it. But there is a little controversy tonight. Booyaka, 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 booyaka. He never came out. So you got a whole bunch of goofs tonight. Oh, Rey Mysterio actually won the Royal Rumble because when Cody Rhodes finished the match, he jumped over the top rope himself and both of his feet hit the floor. So technically, he eliminated himself. Therefore, your winner and new number 1 contender for Roman Reigns WWE Universal Championship, Rey Mysterio. You have to enter the ring to be officially in the match. And by the way, all these people triggered tonight that, oh, WWE took away Daniel Bryan's Royal Rumble record. Do you understand the definition of traditional? How many times have we heard that word traditional in the past couple of weeks with the Royal Rumble? All right. Just because Saudi Arabia had the greatest Royal Rumble of all time, it's not technically one of your traditional Royal Rumbles. I mean, people just want to bitch and complain and bitch and complain. Now, I mean, if you want to complain about anything tonight at the Rumble, you know, if you want to complain about any match at all, maybe you feel like Alexa Bliss and, you know, Bianca Belair felt like more of a Raw match. But I thought Alexa Bliss did a fine job. You know, it did what it needed to do. And my God, who won the Royal Rumble on the women's side? Let me tell you something. Going out of this Royal Rumble, we had 2 people made tonight. Cody Rhodes, we already knew was going to be a made man. But we had 2 people made tonight, in my honest opinion. First of all, yeah, obviously, Rhea Ripley going the distance. Actually, you know what was funny about it? Liv Morgan has been lobbying forever. And some of what we're talking tonight, I'm just doing on the cuff. You know, Liv Morgan forever was lobbying to be number 1 in the Royal Rumble. Now, you understand why now Rhea Ripley had to be number 1. Because her winning it all and going from number 1 to the end, that's history. So that's big. But I thought it was hilarious that Liv Morgan was number 2. She went a very long time. I tell you, a lot of our Final Fours actually went a very long time as well. There was a couple of surprises. No question. You know, Becky Lynch getting eliminated early, I think, was a big surprise for everyone, but this may lead to Elimination Chamber. Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley getting eliminated in very short amount of time. That's because they're at WrestleMania. You saw earlier tonight Rhea Ripley getting speared by the returning, well, not Edge, but his wife, Beth Phoenix. She speared Rhea Ripley, tonight. And do I have it? I think I do. Where are you? Where are you, Beth? I'm looking for her. I have it somewhere. I'll pull it up after. Yeah, we'll pull it up after. But the thing is, Rhea Ripley got made tonight. And if you think there's any chance that WWE is not putting the Jets behind Rhea Ripley, this is going to be really interesting about WrestleMania. Because Bianca Belair is beloved, and she deserves it. Everybody respects her, and she's earned everything that she's got. But Rhea Ripley is a badass. I'm not going to say she's the Stone Cold Steve Austin of the women's division, but badasses are very popular as well. She is going to be cheered big time. Very interesting, they didn't have Dominic Mysterio enter a little bit earlier and be part of that moment. They put it all on Rhea Ripley that I thought was awesome. You know who else tonight was made? And this put such a smile on my face. This man. I hope Gunther tonight is with Ginny and he's lighting up a fucking cigar somewhere in Texas and just enjoying himself, man. I mean, Gunther put on a performance of his life as well. If you don't think Gunther is a made man in that company, I mean, he went at it with Brock Lesnar. He went on it. He stood it. He set a record tonight. 1 hour, 11 minutes, 35 seconds. That is Gunther's official time in the Royal Rumble. Rhea Ripley, no slouch. 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 minute and 3 seconds. Those two times are the official times for both in the Royal Rumble tonight. So props to both of them because that takes Gunther to the next level. Do I think Gunther could be heavyweight champion before the end of 2023? Yeah, I think there is definitely a possibility. Now, obviously, there's a lot of people waiting in line to get the opportunity. But once the unified titles are off Roman Reigns, both titles, now you can focus a little bit more on both divisions, Raw and SmackDown. And I think there's an excellent chance. The guy, and the crowd is into him. That goes to show you that if you get over with the WWE Universe, you're made. Now, there was some disappointments tonight. Now, let's talk about the two injuries that I'm very, very concerned about. First of all, the footage that I don't have, and that is Shotzi Blackheart. We hope that she is okay tonight. If you didn't see it, Doudrop made her return, but she actually is now going, WWE is allowing her to go by her original name. They're calling her Piper Niven. I know some people say Piper Niven. And if you heard Pat McAfee tonight, yes, Pat McAfee. Hey, sausage, everyone. What was it, our January 11th show, or was it January 7th that we said Pat McAfee is going to return as soon as the Royal Rumble? Tonight we had a beautiful surprise. Pat McAfee is back. Corey Graves, not thrilled. Remember, last week we talked about, is Pat McAfee's return going to spell a change for Kevin Patrick? Now, I know a lot of you out there like, wait a minute. No. Pat McAfee SmackDown, Kevin Patrick's Raw. Well, if you don't pay attention to our shows, that's your problem. But, remember the scenario that there is a possibility that if Pat McAfee goes back to SmackDown, Corey Graves is on Raw. That's fine. That's the way it was before. What do you do with Wade Barrett? I think Wade Barrett goes back to NXT. I think Booker T goes back to, his school and podcasting, and I think him commentating NXT was a very, very short period of time. And then what you do is you put Corey Graves on Raw with just a two-man team. You put Byron Saxton, or you could put Wade Barrett back on NXT. You could put Booker T as a part of a three-man team if you want. Listen, it's going to set a chain of events. You're not going to have Corey Graves, Pat McAfee, and Michael Cole on SmackDown. You're not going to have Wade Barrett, Pat McAfee, and Michael Cole on SmackDown. Wade Barrett is the asterisk here. So he either goes to Raw or he goes to NXT. So we'll see what happens. So what happened was Piper Niven eliminated Mia Yim. Shotzi Blackheart was eliminated moments earlier. And when Piper threw Michin over the top rope, she landed on Shotzi. And Shotzi, when she caught Mia Yim, she hit her head outside on the floor really, really bad. You look at it, even the announcers were like, oh my God. And they didn't replay it because that's not something you replay, but I was very surprised how nobody online capped it. I'm sure by tonight you'll see some screenshots, some video captures of it. But, you know, let's hope that Shotzi is okay because that looked horrible. That looked horrible. Another one we got to hope they're okay. I think it's time that Kofi Kingston stops with the insane moments. He's had some beautiful moments in the Royal Rumble that no one will ever be able to duplicate. You know, some of those wild, you know, attempted eliminations where his feet didn't hit the floor, you know, that is probably 1 in 1,000 chance of nailing it. And now, because they're trying to replicate, they're trying to get even more creative. Last year, Kofi, unfortunately, you want to call it a botch, call it a botch. I know that's kind of hard, you know, because, you know, look, he's trying to be creative, but if you don't succeed in a creative move you're going to do and it fails, I guess that would be classified as a botch. So last year, Kofi fails at another crazy, landing, and tonight it happened again. And this did not look good at all. And I'm just going to show you the footage. Basically, Kofi is on the apron. He gets eliminated, I believe, from Gunther. And I guess he was going to land on the chair once again. And the funny thing is that for about 5 minutes, you had people online that were like, no, his leg landed on the chair. His leg never hit the floor. What are you talking about? This looked like the beginning of Mick Foley's WWE Titantron when the car is flipping or up or like this. Look for yourself. For those that are accessing audio only, if you watched the Royal Rumble tonight, you saw it. You don't need to see it again. But this is how Kofi was eliminated today, and it looked bad. Yeah, that did not look good. We hope he's okay. But Kofi, unfortunately, eliminated, and this is 2 years in a row that it didn't work out. So I think it's probably time that maybe he stops with it's so unique of what happened in the past. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. It's not needed anymore. You know, I feel bad. You feel bad for someone like he's such a good person and he's entertained us for so many years. You don't want to see someone fail like that. But I think that's a sign like, hey, you know, you're a future Hall of Famer. You entertain us enough every week or every other week. You know, you don't need to do that. So, yeah, Santos Escobar, we don't know what the deal is with Santos. You know, there was a few tonight eliminations that looked kind of bad, but I think Santos may end up being okay. We had, you know, a couple of changes tonight as well, which I'll show you pictures because I have tons of photos for all of you tonight. We're just doing some quick rundowns. But once we find out what the hell happened with Rey Mysterio, I will let you know. Because we right now have no idea what happened to Rey Mysterio. By the way, that crowd tonight was awesome. 51,338 is the official number. And, man, they were loud. I mean, even the first couple of countdowns, my God, when you started with number 1 and number 2 being Gunther and Sheamus, and they were counting down number 3. First of all, I was really excited to see who number 3 was because of these Materazzis with all of their fake shit the last, couple of weeks. I'm like, okay, who's going to be the magical number 3? And it was The Miz. But that crowd was hot tonight. And, we had a couple of fun moments. Gunther and Brock Lesnar going at it for a short period of time. Brock Lesnar eliminated Brock Lesnar was only in the Rumble, 3 minutes, 4 minutes? See, the reason why it felt so different now is because he was in it during the middle part of the Rumble. A lot of times he comes at the very end, and just throws people out. And then, he's in there 5-6 minutes. You don't realize that he's in there for a very short period of time. But he got eliminated tonight by Bobby Lashley, and I will be more than happy to show it to you. Where are you? Where are you, Bobby? There you are. There you are. This is what happened. There you go. That's it. That's it. Over. Done. Yeah. All right. Little technical issue. But yeah, so Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar is freaking livid. He's throwing shit around, destroys the announcer's table. I'm not going to say poor Baron Corbin because I don't like Baron Corbin. However, a little respect his way because he visited a lot of military this weekend. And if you want to go seek it out, it's all over the net. And very, very, all the reports was that everybody from WWE, even Lacey Evans, she had a little controversy yesterday on SmackDown. But some WWE stars went and visited our military this weekend. I got to give a little props for Baron Corbin. But he got his ass kicked from Brock Lesnar outside the ring. Even an official got clotheslined over a barricade for his troubles. But, seeing Corbin get attacked like that, that's always a good day. Oh, here is your Beth Phoenix moment. We had Edge get eliminated like that. The Judgment Day early on getting eliminated like that, except for Dominic. You had to keep... Cody Rhodes needed to be the one to eliminate Dominic Mysterio. Cody Rhodes needed to be the one to eliminate some of the biggest assholes in WWE. I'm not calling Dominic an asshole. I love his character. What it's turned into, he's killing it in his role. But you needed Cody to eliminate those mosquitoes tonight. But early on, Edge shows up, people are popping, and he gets eliminated almost like that. And they're battling up the rampway, and here comes Rhea Ripley. And once again, Rhea Ripley putting her hands on a man, but the man cannot fight back. That is just, I always bring it up to you because there are people out there that still think that intergender wrestling is coming back to the WWE or coming. It's not. It's not. There's going to be some major corporate, issues that have to be addressed. You can't just say, oh, let's just start doing it. So after Rhea puts her hands on Edge, she turns around, Beth Phoenix. When I start recapping the matches and I show you some photos, she looked like that she was trying to take a dump and it wouldn't come out. She's like, "Ugh." She speared the shit out of Rhea Ripley. And this is important because this is going to lead to WrestleMania. Check it out. Beautiful. Rhea Ripley sold that like $1 million. Remember WrestleMania? Edge, Beth Phoenix versus Finn Balor, Rhea Ripley. And I know what some of you are saying, but wait a minute. Rhea Ripley has a women's championship match at WrestleMania. Yeah, we got 2 nights of WrestleMania. Doesn't necessarily, don't rule that out. You might see some people working double duty. And believe it or not, I tell you, Rhea Ripley gets 2 opportunities. I don't think she's going to have any problem. I don't think she's going to be complaining. But you look at Rhea Ripley. Look at it. Seriously, it's not about just always giving offense. It's about selling as well. That's one of the things that is lost with a lot of wrestlers. You look at even young stars of tomorrow or stars that should be bigger now. One of the biggest problems is they can't sell for shit. Not everybody could be like The Undertaker and keep a stoic face. But you look at Rhea Ripley, look, her back folds like an envelope. Look, yeah. She sold it like $1 million, made Beth Phoenix look awesome. So that's going to lead. So, hey, maybe we'll get the match at Elimination Chamber instead, if they don't want to do it at Mania. But nice to see Beth Phoenix showing up tonight. As you see, we're doing a little overview right now. Now, the Bray Wyatt LA Knight match. Now, that's just a quick screenshot. We had some neon ropes. LA Knight's tights were intended to be neon. Again, people, I think, ignored the fact that this was a Mountain Dew sponsored match. It was about Mountain Dew. It wasn't about, Bray Wyatt, progression of the character. Yes, we got an appearance from Uncle Howdy. We absolutely had an appearance from Uncle Howdy. And, some people now think, hey, Uncle Howdy is Shane McMahon. Uncle Howdy is Shane McMahon. Gee, I wonder why.
Uncle Howdy just launched himself off the top.
Yeah. Kind of overshot him, though, if you look closely. Maybe that's why everybody's saying he's Shane McMahon. But, Uncle Howdy making an appearance. And Uncle Howdy is aligned with Bray Wyatt. So you see the shift in that storyline as well. Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy are in sync. So we'll see where that goes. But no reveal tonight. No reveal, which is fine with me. But again, this was to push Mountain Dew. That's why you had the neon colors. As far as Bray Wyatt with the visual, I thought that was great. I mean, again, remember, Mountain Dew paid a lot of money to advertise their pitch black soda that is returning, the drink. I guess it was around before. I never had it. They paid WWE a lot of money. And that's why this match was what it was. And people, for some reason, just chose to ignore the fact that this was a Mountain Dew sponsored match. So the aesthetics of it was going to reflect the colors and Mountain Dew. That's why we got what we got. So I wasn't disappointed of the match. If anything, it was a little short. It was definitely a little short. Could have gone a little bit longer. But I know that's kind of funny to say looking back on it because Jesus Christ, we ended at 12:15 in the morning. So when we look back, say, oh, that could. But Royal Rumble, these matches go an hour. I was looking at the Royal Rumble from last year. And last year, the women's Royal Rumble match went 59 minutes and 40 seconds. The men's Royal Rumble match went 51 minutes and 10 seconds. These matches usually run about an hour. So Rhea Ripley was in it for a minute 1, which is only 2 minutes more than last year. And Gunther was in there for a minute 10 or an hour and 10 or an hour and 11 minutes. That is about 20 minutes over. So, yeah, maybe you take it. But listen, Cody and Gunther, I thought they did a great job. If you look closely at Gunther's elimination, it was a little bit of a hiccup. And I do have it for you. So I will show you right now. Watch Gunther, especially when Cody knocks him off. See, he actually looked and already had turned around. But, Gunther chopping Cody right in the pec area. And now it's fully healed. So, it's not like he was twisting it and turning it into a pretzel. But, Cody versus Gunther, if you watch just their interaction at the latter part of that match, if you eliminated the first 55 minutes of that Royal Rumble match and just gave us Gunther versus Cody Rhodes, I think people would have popped big for it. Now, I don't know if you noticed it. Unfortunately, you know what? I think I do have the photos. You know what? Let's start running shit down. Let's start running shit down. Because did anybody catch the little tribute that Cody Rhodes did when he won the Royal Rumble match? He shouted out 3 people. I don't know if anybody noticed the little, I saw it right away and I grabbed screenshots. So let's start getting into this. Let's start narrowing this down because believe it or not, we've already run 35 minutes. Now, a couple of things I want to tell you. Don't forget, we were mentioning it yesterday. Go out of your way. Check out the interview that Ariel Helwani did with Sami Zayn. But not only that, yesterday I vented big about Nikki Bella. And, if you remember what I said yesterday, nobody that's currently in the women's division, WWE, is asking for her help, and I think they're doing just fine. Ariel Helwani interviewed Bayley over the weekend, and I don't want to give anything away, but check this out. Let's see. Why does it look so out of place? Oh, here we go. There you go. Check it out.
Well, I'm super happy with it.
You weren't bummed?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all.
Did you see people were bummed?
I did,
okay.
Yeah. Which, is cool, that they have our backs and stuff, but I don't want them to think that, women's wrestling is moving backwards or that we're not.
Yeah. We'll talk about that either tomorrow or Monday. But it's a really, really interesting interview. Also, if you missed it, Roman Reigns was on The Tonight Show. And Roman Reigns actually said a couple of things very, very interesting. When they were talking about, WrestleMania opponents or people who could be facing him in the future, he mentioned two names, Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn, which was very interesting because obviously this was before the Royal Rumble, but Roman Reigns looking classy as ever, showing up at the Tonight Show, nice appearance yesterday. And listen, he's got the charisma. You think back, 5-6 years ago, and I don't think anybody would have ever thought that he would end up with the charisma that he has right now. But, remember early on we thought that he was taking acting lessons. This all does come into play, but his natural personality is coming out more and more right now. And I check out his appearance on the Tonight Show. It's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one. So let's start breaking this down a little bit. So tonight, the Royal Rumble, 51,338 fans in attendance. Kickoff show was Jerry Lawler, Booker T, Kayla Braxton, Peter Rosenberg, and Kevin Patrick. They were hyping up the Royal Rumble, and as Kevin Patrick says it, the 30 men Royal Rumble match. The 30 men, Turty. And no matches other than what we had on the main card. And let's kick off the men's Royal Rumble match. And the match order was interesting tonight. The men's Royal Rumble match opened the show. Obviously, Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns closed out the show because of the storyline progression more than anything else. But we did get early on a couple of important moments to share. Now, let me throw this on the screen. So there we go. There we go. Hang on a second. I'm just loading everything here because, like I said, we put everything aside. It's not that easy, but let's see. Pulling this up. Okay, so you know what? Yeah, there we go. All right. Now we're good. Now we're good. We got Royal Rumble and the kickoff show. And when we had the kickoff show tonight, they showed, planted a few seeds with the bloodline. And as I showed you at the very beginning of the show, the bloodline is in the back. And if you look at them, they are not happy. This was during the kickoff show tonight. They're not happy at all. And, the bloodline looks pissed off. And Roman Reigns starts admonished. He admonished Sami Zayn for last night. He told them not to appear on SmackDown. Now, if you think about it, why was it a big deal? Roman Reigns was at the Tonight Show. It doesn't really matter, does it? But he's throwing shade at Sami Zayn. And Jey Uso interrupts. And Jey Uso says, look, Us, it was me. I take responsibility. I told them to be there. And Roman Reigns acts surprised, but Jey Uso is, trying to defend Sami Zayn a little bit. So Roman pauses and he says, you know what, let's forget about last night. Let's focus on tonight. And he tells the Usos, he calls them the twins. He says to the twins, says, look, the twins, you stay in the back tonight. Tonight, Sami, you're right by my side the whole night. And then that's when he looks at Sami Zayn and he says, because tonight is Sami's night. So obviously Sami, he's got to do something tonight to prove his worth still in the bloodline. Because remember the trial of Sami Zayn on Monday. Sami had to stay, if you know what a stay is. Sami had to stay until the Royal Rumble. So Roman, he's telling Sami, tonight is your night. Sami Zayn looking a little bit confused. Like he's wondering, am I getting set up here? And then Roman starts pumping him up a little bit. And then Sami starts, he starts feeling a little bit better, puts a smile on his face. We'll get back to Gunther in a minute. Puts a smile on his face. You got to see the opening video of it because Paul Heyman, when Sami looks like he's shitting bricks, Paul Heyman is just looking at Sami with a smirk on his face like he knows you're getting it tonight. You're going to be destroyed tonight. Now, obviously, Sami called the first shot. And sure, Roman Reigns was smothering, putting his hands in Sami's face, pissing him off, baiting him. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're not going to do nothing. So, Roman Reigns thought. So, Royal Rumble match begins. Men's Royal Rumble. And I got to show you something else about the Royal Rumble match. Okay, check this out. That was the official banner. Now, if you were online about an hour before the Royal Rumble started, the official event, they revealed the picture. And I picked up on it right away, and I was like, okay, all right, so we're only going to have 3 surprises tonight. 3 possible surprises, because they posted this banner. And if you look at this banner, and for those on audio only, all it is you see 27 men on the screen. There was only 3 names not announced for the Royal Rumble. And we would get a little surprise tonight, which I thought was a nice little surprise. Technically, that person didn't get eliminated either, if you look closely. We'll talk about that person in a little bit. But they did reveal 27 of the 30 men that was going to be in the Royal Rumble match. So we have the Royal Rumble match itself, and we're wondering who pulled number 1, and it ends up being Gunther. Gunther pulls number 1, and Sheamus pulls number 2. So now we're getting a little bit of a repeat of Gunther Sheamus from earlier this year, a match that many of us want to see at WrestleMania. We would not mind seeing Gunther Sheamus 3 at WrestleMania. So Gunther and Sheamus go at it a little bit, and then number 3 comes out, and it's the Miz. Miz is going at it with them a little bit. And for the first part of the Men's Royal Rumble match, really not a lot was going on. Kofi Kingston entered at number 4. Johnny Gargano entered at number 5. Johnny Gargano was in it for about 30 minutes. No eliminations as of yet. Sheamus then gives like 20 to 25 of his forearms to Miz. And Johnny Gargano is standing right next to Sheamus. And Sheamus is like, go right ahead. And Johnny Gargano proceeds to super kick Miz. Because remember their little feud on Raw. And then Sheamus with the bro kick. Miz is gone. Miz is the first person to be eliminated. Xavier Woods enters at number 6. And for a brief moment, Kofi and Xavier Woods started going one-on-one. Everybody was laid out in the ring except for those 2. And they play wrestle a little bit. Xavier Woods gets Kofi and starts slapping his ass. They're slapping each other's ass. I didn't even notice that with Kofi. Look at Kofi on the other side. They're slapping each other's asses. Slapping asses in sync. So they're slapping each other's asses. They're having a good time. Unfortunately, we knew later on we were going to have some issues. Speaking of issues, Karrion Kross entered at number 7. Kross wasn't in it long, but the time he was in it, was pretty interesting. He went at it with Gunther. They were really nailing each other. Crowd seemed to like it, but it didn't last long. Then Kross and Sheamus are going in at it with each other a little bit. Chad Gable comes in at number 8. The next thing you know, Drew McIntyre eliminates Karrion Kross. Very matter of fact, didn't really get much of a pop. Look, they're still trying to repair Kross for the damage that happened his first time around. He'll be fine. I think he'll be fine. But he gets eliminated early on. Not much there. Drew and Gunther going at it a little bit with chops. Santos Escobar enters at number 10. Angelo Dawkins enters at number 11. Gunther eliminates Xavier Woods with a boot to the face. And then, as I showed you earlier, Gunther eliminating Kofi Kingston. And Kofi landing very, very awkwardly And it looked very, very concerning. Oh, there's your Sheamus. Well, there's Kofi. And we hope Kofi is okay. Brock Lesnar enters at number 12. And you know, all that buzz online wasn't just buzz online. People want to see Brock Lesnar and Gunther go at it. We had a little bit of a stare down. They start going at it. Then Brock takes Drew, takes Sheamus, both to Suplex City, tosses Santos Escobar over the top rope. Santos landed a little bit awkwardly. Brock Lesnar dumps out Chad Gable, and then Bobby Lashley comes in at number 13. And then Bobby Lashley eliminates Brock Lesnar almost immediately. Corbin comes in. Brock greets him with an F5 outside the ring. Seth Rollins comes in at number 15. I know you see Dominic. Seth Rollins comes in at number 15 very early in the Rumble, which caused concern for a lot of people. You know, look, Seth could go 40, 50 minutes. No reason why he can't. But coming in extremely early, you know, I saw a lot of people a little bit concerned online, and rightfully so when we get into a little bit later. Seth Rollins quickly eliminates Corbin. After Brock beat the shit out of Corbin, he somehow got in the ring, and Seth's like, no problem. He dumps him over the top rope, so Corbin is eliminated. Otis comes in at number 16. Number 17, as I showed you earlier, was Rey Mysterio. Music hits, never shows up. We don't know what happened. We'll probably get footage. We'll probably see footage this week of probably maybe Dominic or the Judgment Day or somebody took out Rey and this video of it. Maybe Dominic, you know, clouts on Monday, you know, look what I did to my father. It's, you know, we'll probably get some backstage footage. But his music hits, he never comes out. I don't think he was in the bathroom taking a dump. So Seth Rollins, after Bobby Lashley eliminating Brock Lesnar, after a couple of minutes being in the ring, Seth Rollins eliminates Bobby Lashley. And if you go back and watch it, it was rather uneventful. I think it caught everybody by surprise. So now we're about halfway into this match. Brock's already out. Bobby Lashley's already out. A lot of you thought that Lashley, at minimum, would be in the Final Four, and that did not happen. Sheamus eliminates Otis. And then we get Dominic Mysterio wearing the Rey mask, and I think the Rey mask is going to tie in to why Rey wasn't in the match. You know what? I know this is going to sound goofy, but the more I think about it, I think you know where I'm going with this. I think what we're going to find out is that Dominic attacked Rey, or they set up Rey in the back. Maybe Rhea attacked Rey. Dominic took Rey's mask. And because Rey didn't have another mask, he couldn't go out there. Santos Escobar was not going to lend him his. And Sami Zayn, I don't think he had an extra El Generico mask in his briefcase. So I bet you Dominic pulled the mask off of his dad, or maybe he just stole it from Rey's duffel bag. And Rey opened. Now, we're not going to see footage of Rey opening his bag, and there's no mask there unless we see just the back of Rey Mysterio. But I think that mask that Dominic had is the sign that something happened in the back. Dominic took Rey's mask, and that's why Rey did not come out. I know, Roderick. I know. Why doesn't Rey have a bunch of masks? I agree with you. Hey, couldn't think about this. Why didn't Dominic? I'm sure there was a lot of, people working in the back. Hey, sound producer guy, do me a favor. Go to the concession stand. Get me a Sprite. And while you're there, go get me a Rey Mysterio mask. Here's an extra 100 for you. Why didn't Rey just send? Well, maybe he was laid out. Well, you know what the problem is? I think most of the masks that they sell at the shows are children's masks. I mean, just picture me wearing a size medium right now. Imagine Dominic. Remember Kevin Nash wearing the Rey mask? And it couldn't even, go over his mouth? That's probably how Rey would have looked tonight if he bought a kitty mask. So I'm telling you, I bet you that's what happened. Dom took the mask. Rey had no mask. That's why he couldn't come out. Hey, You know, you got to think between the lines. So that's probably why he had the mask. So Dominic comes out at 18. Elias comes out at 19. Only lasts 39 seconds. Eliminated by Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. So Elias really didn't show much. Finn Balor at number 20. Dominic and Finn Balor double team and eliminate Johnny Gargano, who was in there about a half an hour. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, they have a little bit of a stare down, then a beat down with Dominic and Finn Balor in the ring. Booker T. Now, if you have paid attention to Booker T's school, we have seen Booker T in some tag team matches with his students. That guy still looks amazing. Obviously, he can't move around like he used to. He did the like almost like the kick that he goes from the back, almost like a mule kick, but he just goes from the side. He landed that. He landed a spin-a-rooney that, you know, was what it was. It was a lot of nostalgia, but Booker T was only in there for a few moments. He nails Dominic. He hits the bookend to Finn Balor, hits a spin-a-rooney, but then is eliminated by Gunther. But I didn't go back and watch the elimination, but I had a few of you tell me tonight that Booker T went through the middle rope. So if Booker went through the middle rope, technically Booker is not eliminated either. Something tells me Booker is probably like, nah, it's okay. That's all right. I'm not sure about that one, but I think he might have been eliminated through the middle rope. And, you know, maybe because Booker, you know, doesn't want to take a chance. God forbid you go over the top rope, you get injured. But he looks awesome, man. He looks phenomenal. Damian Priest in at number 22. Montez Ford at number 23. And I tell you, I know this might be a stretch to some of you out there. I think out of everybody who got eliminated in the Royal Rumble tonight, the one that disappointed me the most was Montez Ford. Montez Ford, I actually thought that, you know, that guy may end up being in the Final Four because they're teasing that guy's a future single superstar. And I think Royal Rumble, he could have made a presence tonight. He comes in at number 23. He goes at it with Dominic a little bit. Then he goes at it with Damian Priest a little bit. Then Finn Balor. And next thing you know, Damian Priest eliminates him. It was so quick. Unless maybe Montez Ford is not 100% right now. Because he did have issues. But, I mean, my God, you look at some of his in-ring work since he's returned. You know, unless there's a new injury that we're not aware of. I thought his appearance in the Royal Rumble tonight might have been the most disappointing for me. Some appearances were very short. But Montez Ford, I honestly thought was going to go a little bit further in the Rumble. Edge comes in at number 24, spears Damian Priest, Finn Balor, then eliminates them both. Austin Theory comes in at number 25. They help Dominic eliminate Edge. And then, as we said earlier, Edge goes up the rampway. And next thing you know, let me pull it up. There we go. Next thing you know, Edge is going at it with the Judgment Day on the rampway. Rhea Ripley shows up, lays out Edge. And as you could see in the background, Beth Phoenix, okay, let's see the constipated look. You can look how close. Look at that. Look, I don't want to start zooming in stuff and screwing up possibly the angles of this shit. She's mad. She's pissed. Remember the concerto, everyone? She spears Rhea Ripley, which makes Rhea Ripley's appearance in the Women's Royal Rumble even that much more impressive. So Beth temporarily takes out Rhea Ripley. Omos comes in at number 26. Omos goes at it with Gunther a little bit. Gunther's still in there. Omos went at it with Braun Strowman a little bit because Braun came in at number 27. So now, at this point in the Rumble, we have Braun Strowman, Omos, Gunther, Seth Rollins, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, Dominic Mysterio, who's still in it, and Austin Theory. Those are your participants as of this moment. We're at number 27. Braun and Omos go at it a little bit, and I don't know, if you look at Omos' elimination, that didn't look very good. Braun clotheslines him over the top rope. Very matter of fact. I don't know. Something was really missing there. By the way, think about this tonight. No Hurt Business, no Maximum Male Models, no Top Dollar. And I'm not saying I wanted them in the Rumble. My point is, what was good about this Royal Rumble that nobody really ever talked about is you didn't have as many names as filler. Nothing against Akira Tozawa, but to me, of course, I know he had the match with Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed wasn't in it either. But there was some names that they could have easily just threw in there just to give him a spot. I will say I was a little surprised. No Gallows, no Carl Anderson. I think they were worthy of being in that Rumble. So there were some names, when you really think about it. No Dexter Lumis, that's another one. There's quite a few when you think about it. Legado del Fantasma, even though they lost yesterday in the match, they could have still been in the Rumble. Imperium, the other two members, yesterday. No NXT guys, no Braun Breaker, no Grayson Waller, no Joe Gacy, no on the men's side. On the women's side, though, we did get a couple. If you heard yesterday's predictions, yeah, those names did show up. So, Braun eliminates Omos. Ricochet comes in at number 28. Gunther tries to eliminate Drew McIntyre, and Drew is saved by Sheamus. This was a little bit of a mess. Gunther's about to eliminate Drew McIntyre. Sheamus saves Drew from elimination. Sheamus is on the rampway over the top rope, and Gunther is trying to eliminate Sheamus, and Drew is trying to return the favor and try to save Sheamus as well. And I guess what Gunther was supposed to do was supposed to eliminate Sheamus and Drew at the same time. But as he's pulling Drew, Sheamus just fell back off the apron, and then Drew went over as well. And it looked a little bit of a hot mess. But Drew and Sheamus are eliminated at the same time. So Sheamus' official time in the Rumble was 52 minutes and 30 seconds. Not bad for someone who was dealing with spinal stenosis. Drew McIntyre was in at 39 minutes and 10 seconds. So now we're at number 29 and number 30. We know Cody Rhodes has got one of those spots. So guess who got number 29? This was a surprise, everyone. This was definitely a surprise. There's your constipated Beth Phoenix. Let's see number 29. Hey, the photos are syncing up still. Logan Paul. Booed out of the building. And I got to be honest with you. I felt bad a little bit for Logan Paul because he put on such a tremendous performance against Roman Reigns in Saudi Arabia. I would have thought that he would have earned a little bit of respect for that, but crowd is just booing the shit out of Logan Paul. And for a brief moment, everybody in the ring gangs up on Logan Paul. Crowd loves it. Cody Rhodes comes in at number 30, and he's wearing a weight belt that says, "Finish the story. Finish the story." Dominic and Cody go at it for a little bit. Dominic tries to hit three amigos, gets the two, attempts the third one. Cody reverses it, hits crossroads on Dominic, eliminates Dominic. Dominic's out. Crowd is going nuts because Cody eliminated the mosquito. Braun Strowman is next to go after Cody. Gunther breaks it up and then hits the last symphony to Braun Strowman. So Braun is out for a little while. Next thing you know, this might have been the spot of the night for everyone out there. You got Ricochet, who's still in it on one side of the ring, Logan Paul on the opposite side of the ring. And they're looking at each other, and this happened.
What are these two thinking?
They're looking at each other. They're looking at each other. Hang on.
What are these two thinking?
All right. They're staring at each other. We don't know what the hell they're going to do. Anthony Wright, welcome to the family. He ran in. He ran in. All right. As soon as his name goes off the space. Can't show you anymore, though. Very, very nice. So they're laid out. Crowd is chanting, "Holy shit." So while they're laid out, Cody Rhodes eliminates Braun Strowman. While he's trying to eliminate Braun, Ricochet tries to help, but fails. Pay attention to that. you could clearly see Ricochet was trying to help Braun. But they're teaming up in the tag team tournament finals. So they're probably going to win it. But you might see Braun maybe a little bit unhappy with what happened at the Royal Rumble, and he might be a little bit miffed with Ricochet. Not saying it'll happen, but it may. Austin Theory, almost immediately after, eliminates Ricochet. So now we're down to Seth Rollins, Austin Theory, Cody Rhodes, Gunther, and Logan Paul. Cody and Seth Rollins, they both eliminate Austin Theory. Next thing you know, Logan Paul eliminates Seth Rollins. And the crowd is shocked. Absolutely shocked. Logan Paul eliminates Seth Rollins. Now, I think some people might be happy with that because they didn't have the interaction with Cody Rhodes. Remember, Cody and Seth, they teamed up and helped each other to eliminate Austin Theory, which is interesting. But Logan Paul eliminates Seth Rollins. Then Cody Rhodes hits Crossroads to Logan Paul and eliminates Logan Paul. And again, crowd goes nuts. Another mosquito for the fans. So Cody eliminates two very important mosquitoes, technically three if you want to put Austin Theory in there as well. So now it's down to Gunther and Cody. Gunther is chopping the shit out of Cody Rhodes. Suplex to Cody. Cody starts getting angry, almost like hulking up a little bit, gets a little momentum, hits a Cody cutter to Gunther. Tries to eliminate Gunther, but Gunther holds on. Cody with a beautiful leg raise while Gunther was tied up in the ropes. Gunther is tangled in the ropes. Cody puts him in the corner, puts his legs in between the ropes, and because he just got hit with that leg raise, Gunther is trapped. He can't get out of it, so Cody low blows him, kicks him in the crown jewels. Somehow Gunther gets the upper hand again, hits a drop kick and a power bomb. Gunther tosses Cody over the ropes. And let me tell you something. When Gunther hit that drop kick and the power bomb, and then tossed Cody over, and Cody's hanging onto the rope and he's dangling his feet on the floor, that is really, really risky. Because you got to say to yourself, how much sweat is on those ropes right now? Not all of it just evaporates during the match. I think you could easily, it doesn't happen often, you could easily, lose your grip on the rope and fall. And my God, with WrestleMania implications on the line, that is some risky, risky shit to do. But Cody is dangling, teasing that he's going to be eliminated, but does not. Gunther then locks a sleeper hold on Cody, and as the commentators say, if Cody goes to sleep, all Gunther has to do is just push him off. But Cody's on an apron, and he pulls Gunther neck first, trying to whip him over the top rope. And he comes close. But Gunther gets back in the ring. A lot of us thought that might be the finish of the match. Cody climbs the top rope, is greeted with a chop by Gunther once again. Gunther picks up Cody, but somehow Cody reverses it, turns it into a Cody cutter. Next thing you know, clothesline by Cody Rhodes, and he eliminates Gunther, as I showed you earlier. Clothesline over the top rope. Cody Rhodes is your 2023 Royal Rumble winner. And that's the stare down between the two. Crowd was loving it. I absolutely loved their interaction. But in the end, Cody Rhodes gets the win. He points to the WrestleMania sign. If you go online, you will see that Cody paid tribute to the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. He did their hand gestures, the Too Sweet hand gesture, and also Kenny Omega, if you want to go see the hand gestures. And Cody Rhodes. Oh, actually, I do have the photos. Yeah, I did load them up. See, I tried it. There you go. There's one. There you go. There's one photo. And let's see the other one. There you go. There you go. There's your tributes to Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Cody Rhodes is your 2023 Royal Rumble winner. I enjoyed the match. Sure, it didn't have as many legends, but we just got legends on Raw. Right? We like nostalgia. We like surprises. But, they got to worry about building their talent of today. I had no issues with this match at all. We knew Cody Rhodes was going to get a title shot at Mania. It was either going to win the Rumble or win the Chamber, and we don't know how they're going to use the Chamber. Now it feels it's a lock. Yesterday we talked about that Elimination Chamber poster with Sami Zayn, like trapped and looking for help. We talked about that yesterday. If you didn't check out that show yet, there'll be a link above. Now it seems to be falling into place. The Elimination Chamber, if Jey Uso turns on Sami Zayn, you got 5 spots in the chamber. Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, the Usos, Sami Zayn. But it wouldn't make sense. I don't buy that. Let me tell you why I don't buy that. The more I think about it, that's kind of stupid. It's not going to happen. Because Sami Zayn would have to eliminate like 4 of the 5 people. What happens if Sami Zayn gets eliminated early on? You have the Usos, Solo Sikoa, and Roman Reigns still in the match. They're not going to fight each other. So, yeah, no. Maybe, hey, who knows? Maybe we get Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns at the Elimination Chamber. Maybe that happens. Because a lot of people want to see Sami versus Roman. So I think you could have a one-on-one at the Elimination Chamber. Of course, people would rather it happen at WrestleMania, but Cody Rhodes got the title shot. So, yeah, I don't think, the more I think about it, Sami shouldn't win an Elimination Chamber match. If he wins the Chamber match, and then what? Where's that lead? So, now, the more I think about it, no Elimination Chamber match for Sami inside the chamber. He could have a match at the event, but not inside the chamber. It makes no sense at all. So that was your Rumble match. Now, obviously, the Men's Royal Rumble match was the most complicated to talk about tonight. The women's match, if you saw towards the end, there was probably a spurt of 5 minutes where about 15 people got eliminated. I might be a little high with that number. The Women's Royal Rumble match was a little bit less eventful. A couple of surprises. But the Royal Rumble match, talking about it here, was going to eat up most of tonight. We already talked about almost everything with Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. We'll fill in a few more blanks in a few moments. But so I know we're already running 67 minutes. Trust me, it's not going to take another hour to get into the rest of this. It's really not all that much. But all right, let's get to the next match, which was, talk to me. There's your Men's Royal Rumble. Let's see it. Let's see it. There you go. There you go. The pitch black match. Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight. And again, we knew what we were going to get in this. Okay, it was going to be mainly, there you go. Hang on a second. Let me just pull this back up. Let's pull that back up, and then let's pull this up. This is pretty much to hype up the Mountain Dew drink. And it was, no DQ. We thought that we were going to have Uncle Howdy maybe at ringside. Now, Bray Wyatt, this is interesting. If you look at his face paint, there's not that much with the face paint. But the idea was with the fluorescent lighting, you have certain colors, you wear certain things, and it will change the look in the neon. Trust me, nobody was throwing, Bray Wyatt didn't have a mirror at ringside where he can actually look and start changing up his makeup. But, as far as how this worked great. That looked great because with the neon lights, now you see things on his face you didn't see when he was coming out. Also, look at the eyes. You see him come out to the ring. You think he started putting contacts on at ringside, and then suddenly he put on more No, it's the way they did the lighting, and they did a damn good job with it. The visual was pretty good. Bray Wyatt, that's how he looked. Let's see another picture here. That is him upside down. A little bit of creepy. But Bray Wyatt, LA Knight was really not dressed for anything but a regular match, but this match only went a couple of minutes. They did brawl outside the ring, and at one point, we had this moment. Do you see that? You would think that that is like neon paint or some type of powder. Believe it or not, if you watch the Women's Royal Rumble match and you watch when Becky Lynch got tossed over the announcer's table, commentator's table, look at the floor. It is little round specks, and that's what that was. It was basically paper. But everything, when you take certain things and you put it up to neon lighting and certain types of lighting, that's what you get. Here's a good one. And I'm going to throw something out there that some of you may actually buy once I say it, and it'll probably be the worst decision of your life. If you go on Amazon, they have these fluorescent lights that you could buy that hotels use. And what happens is, if you close the lights in your bathroom and you turn on this special light, you could see every dirt, every particle of dust, pubic hair, anything you could possibly think of in your bed. If you think your bathroom is clean, buy one of those lights. It's like $5. Turn it on in your bathroom. You will throw up with probably what you see around your bathtub. So there are special lights that pull things that you never in a million years. People do it. Cleaning services do it. That's how they sell people sometimes. They show up at your house with these special lights and they turn it on and you look, you're like, oh my God, my place is filthy. I thought it was spotless. So yeah, black lights. Thank you, Gordon. Black lights. Go on Amazon, just type in black lights. Yeah, bodily fluids. Oh yeah, you go to a hotel. You think, oh look, honey, the bed is clean. And then you look at like the headboard, you put the black light on there and, yeah, we'll leave it at that. So the pitch black match, Bray Wyatt gets the win. And he's in the ring, gets the pin. And then they start brawling up the rampway. Bray Wyatt now suddenly look at the paint. Now it's all red. Now it's all red. What did they do? You think he had a mirror? No, they just changed the lighting. And you saw things that you didn't see originally because the way, the makeup that they use. So they brawl up the rampway, and as I showed you earlier, Bray Wyatt locks the mandible claw on LA Knight, and the next thing you know, he looks up and he sees Uncle Howdy at the top, and Uncle Howdy does one of those Shane McMahon dives onto LA Knight, technically. LA Knight crashes through a table, flames come out everywhere. People, online thought it was stupid, the match. But again, the lighting, the creativity was to hype up Mountain Dew. It was, let me say this. If Mountain Dew was not sponsoring that match, you would not have gotten that match. There would have been no neon colors. Believe me, we got sick of the old Bray Wyatt with the dark and the blue lighting and all that red shit or whatever it was. You think suddenly like, oh no, we'll never bring back the red and blue lighting. Yeah, we know that was there. No, we'll do neon this time around. What you got was specifically because of Mountain Dew. And the neon, everything was to hype up Mountain Dew's pitch black drink. That's it. That's it. We will never get another match like this. Trust me, unless Mountain Dew like, hey, you want to promote our, lime green drink? Then maybe WWE's like, oh, you're going to have to pay big bucks for it. But that's why we got that match tonight. I thought the creativity was fine. I enjoyed it. The creativity was fine. Match I wish would have gone a little bit longer, but the fact that we ended at 12:15 in the morning, maybe I don't wish it would have gone longer. So, next on the list, we have Alexa Bliss, unfortunately losing her effort in dethroning Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship. Alexa Bliss, hey, looking beautiful as ever. Alexa Bliss, I think she's probably and look, I know this is going to sound ridiculous on the surface. I think she's in the best shape of her career. And she was never out of shape, but, you could tell she's in phenomenal shape right now. I thought she put on a decent performance. Unfortunately, this felt like a Raw match. Bianca Belair, they went back and forth for, 6 minutes, maybe 7. Too much mat wrestling, especially under the circumstances, with Alexa Bliss smashing a light fixture over Bianca's head and, ramming her face in the steps and causing stitches, and they're kind of chain wrestling at times. Wasn't as violent as I hoped it would be, but in the end, Bianca Belair would prevail. And it was a decent match. I'm not criticizing the match at all, but honestly, you got Charlotte Flair versus Sonya Deville on SmackDown Friday. I know some people may not like what I'm about to say, but maybe I would have rather have had Charlotte Flair versus Sonya Deville. No Ronda Rousey tonight. No Ronda Rousey. So, figured I'd just mention that. So, Bianca Belair retains, and now we get to the Women's Royal Rumble match. And as we said earlier, it was funny because Liv Morgan, forever, she's been lobbying that she wants the number 1 spot. Now, since we know what we know, that number 1 spot was for Rhea Ripley, because now Rhea Ripley will be shrined in wrestling history, coming in at number 1 and going the full distance. But Liv, hey, you know what? Hey, you couldn't have number 1 because of the circumstances, but we'll give you number 2. So they kick it off, and crowd is loving it, and they're going back and forth a little bit. Unfortunately, this match had its moments that it was a little bit dry, because next you have Dana Brooke, who comes in at number 3, Emma at number 4, Shayna Baszler at number 5, and Bayley at number 6. No eliminations. Early scare where Liv Morgan, as soon as Bayley hit the ring, Liv hits her with the Oblivion and almost eliminated Bayley, but it did not happen. B-Fab comes in at number 7 and is quickly, and I mean, she was in there, 36 seconds, I think was the official number. She comes in at number 7, and Rhea Ripley eliminates her. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this photo again is if you look at Rhea Ripley's face, there's a little bit of blood. Some people think that Rhea Ripley, when she headbutted B-Fab, that she actually did connect with B-Fab. So B-Fab her mouth may have been split open from that. I got to go watch it back, but that is Rhea Ripley taunting B-Fab for eliminating her. So next, coming in at number 4, which surprised a few people out there, there's Roxanne Perez. We talked about it yesterday. She had a nice little showing. She went at it a little bit with Rhea Ripley, a little bit with Bayley. She wasn't in there that long, but, this was an introduction. And what was so cool about it? I mean, Corey Graves almost echoed exactly what we said yesterday, that Roxanne Perez right now, you may not think much of her appearance in the Royal Rumble, but years to come, when she is at that next level and is one of the top stars of the division, we're going to look back at this appearance, just when she first broke in, like when she first started making her presence known. And that's pretty much what it was. It was an introduction to the WWE Universe. And I know we saw her on SmackDown not too long ago, but it's a little bit different when it's the Royal Rumble. So Dakota Kai in at number 9. Io Sky at number 10. Didn't some wrestling sites report that Dakota Kai was going to be number 1 tonight in the Royal Rumble? Yeah, go look around. Dana Brooke eliminated by Damage Control, and here's where Damage Control set the stage. Majority of this match, up until their eliminations, was Damage Control controlling it. Damage Control eliminating person after person after person. Nobody turning against each other. Them working in sync with each other. They eliminated Dana Brooke. Dakota Kai with a kick to Emma, eliminating her. Damage Control then eliminates Roxanne Perez. Natalya comes in at number 11. Candice LeRae at number 12. Shayna Baszler goes at it with Natty a little bit, puts the Kirifu to clutch on Natty. And then here comes Damage Control. Eliminates both Shayna Baszler and Natalya. So Damage Control is cleaning house. And a lot of these eliminations are bunched together. And that was the first spurt. We ain't done. Zoe Stark comes in at number 13. Xia Li, 14. Candice LeRae, almost immediately after eliminated by Damage Control. Becky Lynch comes out at number 15. She goes right after Bayley. But here comes Damage Control. They get the best of Bayley. They all brawl outside the ring, and the crowd was not feeling this. If you go back and watch it, all three members of Damage Control are brawling with Becky. They throw over the commentator's table, like I said earlier, and Becky would hang out there for a little while. So Tegan Knox comes in at number 16, and then we got our next nice little surprise tonight. Wait for it. We got another nice little surprise tonight. Here comes number 17, Asuka. And she's got a different mask on. And we talked about it a few weeks ago, that there was rumors that she was going to be coming in, reminiscing a little bit of her Kana gimmick from Japan. And when she would pull the mask off, yes, this is how she looked tonight. Crowd loved it. And she had a really good showing in the Royal Rumble. And Asuka coming in at number 17. Tegan Knox immediately eliminated by Asuka. And then we get number 18. And as we said earlier, no more Doudrop. She is Piper Niven. And if you weren't sure if it's Naveen or it's Nevin, just go back and watch it, because Pat McAfee said her name like 15 times. Tamina comes in at number 19. Becky Lynch, at this point, is finally back in the match. Becky with a double DDT to Io Sky and Dakota Kai. And now we get number 20. And number 20 ended up being Chelsea Green. She's got new music. If you don't know already, and it's starting to come around, she is going to be a whiny bitch on TV, almost like Karen territory, if you know what that is. She is eliminated in 5 seconds by Rhea Ripley. I think she may have set the record for the shortest time in a Royal Rumble match. I think that's what they said tonight. So Chelsea Green in there for 5 seconds, complaining. And, remember that, because when she shows up on TV, she'll be complaining even more. Now we start getting, nice little surprise, but then a bunch of eliminations. 2 surprises. Becky Lynch eliminates Dakota Kai and Io Sky, and almost immediately after, Bayley eliminates Becky Lynch. And the crowd is pissed off, because we're only at number 20. Becky's gone. Kai and Sky, they were no threat, but they were gone. So now Bayley is in the ring laughing at Becky Lynch, and here comes Liv Morgan, and she eliminates Bayley. So in a matter of 15 seconds, all members of Damage Control and Becky Lynch were out of the Women's Royal Rumble. Now we have number 21, and, nice little surprise. Zelina Vega coming in, and she is dressed in some Yuri fit, I believe it is. She's going to be a commentator for Street Fighter 6. So she is, in there, and she's got a little Street Fighter vibe to it. She had a little bit of a moment with Xia Li when they were on the apron, and it looked like 2 characters in Street Fighter going at it. Zelina Vega actually nails Xia Li in the head. Xia Li gets eliminated to the floor. So, Zelina Vega looking good tonight with that Street Fighter character to herself. Raquel Rodriguez comes in at number 22. Mia Yim, 23. Lacey Evans, number 24. Number 25. This was interesting because somebody early on was sitting ringside. Now, let this sink in a little bit. This person was sitting ringside for the Royal Rumble as a fan in taking it in. Now we're about, 2 hours into, no, more than that. We're almost 2.5 hours into the Royal Rumble. 3.5 if you want to consider pre-show, when they showed this person earlier. So the music hits for number 25, And the next thing we realize is that the person sitting ringside is actually the next person in the Women's Royal Rumble. And that turned out to be, believe it or not, Michelle McCool. Michelle McCool, the wife of The Undertaker, she was sitting at ringside. Now think about this. No way to stretch. Sitting there ice cold. Now you would have thought maybe she's in the match for a minute, 2 minutes. No, she was in there for a while. She hits the ring, and she's going at it with everybody. And I'm impressed because, it's not easy to be just sitting in a chair for almost 2.5, 3 hours, whatever it was. And it's got to be 3 hours because this is the next to last match. She goes in there, and she's in there for a while. She hits the Styles Clash, what, Corey Graves called the face breaker, on Zelina Vega. Tamina eliminated by Michelle McCool. Number 26 in the Royal Rumble, another nice little surprise. Number 26 was another person we talked about yesterday, Indy Hartwell. Getting a nice appearance. I mean, I think this was more of, hey, we'll put you in the Royal Rumble, for everything you've done for us. I mean, I told you, I don't think she should be on the main roster right now. She gets put on the main roster, she's going to be enhancement talent, and I don't know if I want to see more skits with Dexter Lumis because it almost feels like that's where they would go with it. But Indy Hartwell comes in at number 26. Sonya Deville at number 27. Shotzi Blackheart at number 28. Sonya Deville eliminates Indy Hartwell. She's in there 2 minutes. Nikki Cross at number 29. And then number 30. This was interesting because there was no countdown clock. I don't know if just somebody screwed up or maybe WWE did that by design, but we got no countdown clock for number 30. Next thing we know, the music hits, and it's none other, as we said earlier, than Nia Jax. Nia Jax, I think it was Corey Graves said, the $1 million grin on a wrecking ball. All the women are pissed off. They start attacking her. She breaks out. And to be honest, the crowd didn't like it. It looked kind of goofy because there was quite a few women still in there. They're all beating on Nia, and she just breaks away. It was kind of corny. I will even admit it. But I'm glad that she's back. I have always been a fan of Nia Jax. Yeah, a little reckless, but, I've been a fan of hers. She's back. Here's where you get tons of eliminations. All the women, they gang up, and they're trying to eliminate Nia Jax. She breaks out of it. We get a face-to-face with Raquel Rodriguez for a short period of time. She yells to the crowd, "I'm back, bitch." Rhea tries to slam Nia Jax and cannot, but she does land the riptide. So now all the women pick up Nia Jax, and as I showed you earlier,
it's going to take all these superstars.
We all eliminated her. And she's pissed off. She is pissed. Just like that. Lacey Evans, eliminated by Raquel Rodriguez. Asuka kicks Sonya Deville in the head and eliminates her. Rhea Ripley dumps Michelle McCool over the top rope. She's eliminated. Crowd, very, very mild, and Mia Yim eliminates Shotzi Blackheart. Piper Niven throws Mia Yim onto Shotzi, as we said earlier. She's eliminated, but that spot looked really bad for Shotzi. Raquel Rodriguez kicks Piper Niven in the face. She's eliminated. Raquel tries to eliminate Rhea Ripley, but Rhea holds on to the ropes, and then Rhea just kicks her in the chest, and Raquel Rodriguez is eliminated. Then Liv Morgan eliminates Nikki Cross. Just like that. All those women are gone. So now we're down to Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, and Asuka. Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan are battling on the apron. Asuka tries to, with her ass, when she tries to knock Rhea off the ring apron, doesn't work. Now all three women are on the ring apron outside. So any of them fall off, their appearance is over. Asuka goes to spit the mist in Rhea Ripley's face. She accidentally hits Liv Morgan with it. Liv Morgan is now blinded. Rhea Ripley goes at it with Asuka for a short period of time, ends up eliminating Asuka. Fans are not happy, but it's down to Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan cannot see. Liv Morgan, blinded by the mist, Rhea Ripley's got a smile on her face. Hey, this is going to be easy peasy. So Rhea, Liv is trying to find her, where she is. Of course she can see, but she kicks Rhea Ripley. She just throws a kick and lands it. And Rhea is holding on to the ropes. But Liv Morgan starts trying to approach Rhea Ripley, and Rhea Ripley, she literally, I could show it to you, she literally takes her feet and she grabs, there you go, just dumps her. Rhea Ripley, congratulations to Rhea Ripley. She is now the 2023, started from beginning to end. Oh, there's your Nia Jax elimination, by the way, but here you go. Congratulations, Rhea Ripley, the 2023 Women's Royal Rumble winner. She is going to be going to WrestleMania, and she's probably going to be taking on Bianca Belair. And crowd was into it, man. I tell you, these Royal Rumble matches were a little bit interesting because at some points I thought I was enjoying the women's match more than the men's match, but then I remember Gunther, and then I remember Cody, and then I remember some moments inside the match, and I was like, no, Gunther and Cody by themselves, did it for me. But these matches, you may not remember, a lot of it, but there are enough moments that you will remember these matches. But Rhea Ripley, man, the Jets are on her. Jets are on her. You almost feel like WrestleMania win is almost necessary. But we got to be careful because we've had women and men. Remember the Street Profits SummerSlam? We were convinced their momentum couldn't have been any better for them. We thought they were a lock to win the tag titles at SummerSlam. It didn't happen. And we were baffled for a while. Now we look back on it and we understand why it was the right decision. But Rhea Ripley, you feel like momentum is, she is going to be the one to dethrone Bianca Belair. That doesn't hurt Bianca. You remember, we didn't get a draft in October, November, like a lot of people were reporting. We're probably going to get a draft almost immediately after WrestleMania. Bianca Belair could end up on SmackDown. So there's other match possibilities that are still in order. Remember, some people want to see Bianca versus Charlotte down the line, which could end up happening. So now we get that musical performance by Hardy, and now I'm in here trying to get ready for the show. And we then get the main event. Oh, there you go. We get the main event. And listen, you go back and you watch Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. For the first 75% of this match, up until the ref bump, I think some people would have felt that this match might have been a little bit disappointing. You didn't feel this incredible anger. I mean, Kevin Owens was dominating early a little bit, and Sami Zayn and Paul Heyman looking concerned at ringside. But there was something early on that felt like it was lacking. But once that ref bump happened, it went to a whole different level. Let me tell you something. Kevin Owens took a fucking beating tonight. When they handcuffed his hands to the rope, you can't duck those shots to the head. Let me tell you something. I think some people out there might have felt a little bit uncomfortable with the amount of shots that guy took to his head, but he had to take an absolute beating in order for Sami Zayn to be sympathetic. Because remember, if you think about War Games, think about everything that happened to Kevin Owens at War Games. You beat Kevin Owens, that's fine. Why would Sami Zayn be sympathetic to that? You needed Kevin Owens to almost be disabled. And I really mean that. Because as this match opened up, we had Kevin Owens came down the rampway. Here is Roman Reigns. Remember, the twins are kept to the back. They are not allowed to be at ringside. Roman wants Sami by his side during the whole match. And, they have a decent match early on. And then it gets physical very, very quickly. Roman Reigns starting to dominate Kevin Owens. And Sami Zayn basically telling Kevin Owens early on, just stay down. Just stay down. Kevin Owens will not stay down. Well, Kevin Owens attempts a moonsault, no water in the pool. Roman Reigns hits a spear on Kevin Owens for a 2 count. Roman then pushes Kevin Owens into the ref. And here's where all hell breaks loose. Kevin Owens with a pop-up powerbomb, no referee to count to 3. Roman Reigns' shoulders were on the mat for probably a count of 6 or 7. With the referee still knocked out, Roman Reigns with a low blow to Kevin Owens. Now, Roman Reigns tells Sami Zayn to go get a chair. And Sami Zayn, you hear him visibly telling Roman Reigns, you told me not to get involved. You told me not to do anything. And Roman Reigns is almost like, motherfucker, get the goddamn chair, motherfucker. And Sami Zayn, he's a little reluctant, but he gives the chair to Roman Reigns. And because of that split-second delay, Kevin Owens hits a stunner. The referee somehow is back, and referee counts the 2 and 99 and 100ths. Kevin Owens, unfortunately, attempts another pop-up powerbomb and ends up eating a Superman punch for his troubles. Once again, Sami Zayn showing a little bit of concern for Kevin Owens, but he's telling Kevin Owens, just stay down, just stay down. Roman Reigns takes advantage, and he's beating the fuck out of Kevin Owens. He spears him through the barricade. Now, if you look at this photo, Kevin Owens is holding his head. Roman Reigns smashes Kevin Owens' head into the ring steps. And the visual was so difficult to watch, but it was so nice, they had to do it twice. And while Kevin Owens, you're just looking like how he was able to withstand that, you don't know. And meanwhile, Paul Heyman is in the back, and he is just screaming at the top of his lungs, this is why I worship you, my tribal chief. This is why I worship you. I worship you. I acknowledge you, my tribal chief. And Kevin Owens is in bad shape. Roman Reigns puts him back in the ring, hits a spear, and gets the pin on Kevin Owens. But we're not done. Kevin Owens, in writhing pain, as you could see, even Sami Zayn, look, he's telling Roman Reigns, it's enough. That's enough. Because it had to be beyond vicious. It had to look where you're going to kill this guy. Because other than anything less, why would Sami Zayn feel this bad for Kevin Owens? Yes, it's his friend, former friend, whatever, but still. So Roman wins, and Sami Zayn still with a little look of concern on his face because of the 2 headshots in the ring steps. And now we think we're going to get a official ceremony or a coronation or acknowledgement that Sami Zayn, he's proved himself. So Jey Uso goes to put the flowers over the head of Sami Zayn, and kind of a repeat of we had with the trial of Sami Zayn. Solo Sikoa is about to hit the spike on Sami Zayn on Monday, and Jey Uso stops him. And everybody's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So this time around, Jey Uso's about to put the flowers over Sami Zayn's head, and Roman Reigns is like, hold your horses, Us. Hold your horses. No. Not yet. Not yet. We got to do a little bit more. They start beating the shit out of Kevin Owens. They lock handcuffs on Kevin Owens. They are giving him super kick after super kick, chair shots. They are beating the living shit out of Kevin Owens. And Sami Zayn is just looking, and he is just sick. He is sick seeing what's going on. And Sami Zayn, that's enough. That's enough. And he's literally pleading with Roman Reigns. He's pleading with the Usos. That's enough. That's enough. It's like Kevin Owens was crucified. And, you know, the Usos are taking their shots. Solo Sikoa's taking his shots. Roman Reigns is doing what he's doing. And Sami Zayn, obviously Kevin Owens wants Sami Zayn. Finish him off. Finish him off. I know this is going to sound brutal, but here, final bullet. Here you go. Sami, you're going to hit the last shot. You're going to permanently take Kevin Owens out of wrestling. And he gives the chair to Sami Zayn. He wants Sami Zayn to nail Kevin Owens with it. If anybody remembers ECW, kind of reminded you of Tommy Dreamer when he hit Raven with the chair, when Raven was handcuffed inside the cage. One of the most vicious chair shots I've ever seen in my entire life. It is still uncomfortable to watch, especially since the acoustics of the ECW arena. Just if you've never seen it, go seek it out. You'll see what I'm talking about. But Sami doesn't want to hit Kevin Owens. This is enough. So Roman starts getting pissed off at Sami. He's like smushing him in the face. You know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You know, and Roman is starting to piss off Sami Zayn. You going to hit me? You going to hit me? And what happens? Roman Reigns turns around. You don't turn your back on Sami Zayn. Sami winds up. Winds up. Here's the pitch. Fuck did just happen to me? What the hell just happened to me? He is shocked beyond belief. Look at the look. Look at Paul Heyman's look. Jey Uso can't believe it. Sami Zayn is like, I've had enough. I've had enough. Remember yesterday's predictions? Sami Zayn might quit the bloodline, and I think that was his walking papers. I've had enough. No, you're not going to do any more. And Sami Zayn whacks Roman Reigns with the chair, and now it breaks loose even further. They start beating the living shit out of Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens can't do nothing. He is handcuffed. And they just annihilate Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is laid out on the mat. And here is where Jey Uso is torn. He's torn. Would you have ever thought in this storyline, you began with Jimmy Uso and Sami Zayn doing these, whatever they're doing with their slaps and they're like, you know, and Jimmy Uso and Sami Zayn are like this. And now we're at the storyline where Jey Uso is the one showing compassion for Sami Zayn. He doesn't know what to do, which is wild because you would think bloodline is more important than Sami Zayn. So Jey Uso walks off. Now he's walking off slowly. And listen, they're still in the ring with Sami and Kevin Owens. And they're still laying it to Sami Zayn, and Jey Uso's walking down, and the crowd is, you know, showing support for Jey Uso. At this point, you're thinking to yourself, is Jey going to turn around and walk back? And if he does, is he going to help Sami Zayn? Or is he going to start bashing him as well? But Jey Uso still torn. And Roman Reigns is confused. Jimmy Uso's confused. And remember what I said at the very beginning of tonight's show. This is a twist that I don't think anybody saw coming because the Usos are your unified WWE Tag Team Champions right now. They're now going to be facing, you know, somebody on SmackDown for the SmackDown Tag Titles. It's probably going to be Ricochet and Braun Strowman. And the Raw Tag Titles, we think are going to end up going to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn because you expect Kevin Owens. But the problem is you might go into WrestleMania where Sami doesn't want to hit Jey and Jey doesn't want to hit Sami, but Jey wants to hit KO. So, yeah, you have to admit, sometimes if you make too many twists, then it might backfire a little bit. But so far, let me tell you something. If you go back and you watch Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns tonight, early on, once we got near the ref bump, the crowd started chanting, "This is awesome." I swear to you, this is not criticism on either one of those guys. But if you watch the match up until a moment, you hear 50,000 fans, maybe not all 50,000, but a huge chunk of them chanting, "This is awesome." If you truly watch the match up to that point, you will turn around and say, even if you're the biggest fans of those guys, you'll say, what really happened that is so awesome? It's because you're so invested in the story. I mean, early on, when they were introducing everyone, the crowd was going nuts for Sami Zayn. You remember this early on?
Been a lot made of the reaction to the WWE fans.
This was even before the match. The crowd is yelling for Sami Zayn. People are into this storyline so much that they feel the storyline is progressing. That in itself is enough. And that's when you know you got people. Let me tell you something. If you go back and you watch Roman Reigns, his reaction, and, you know, Solo's stoic, but Paul Heyman, Jimmy Uso, and Roman Reigns, if you look at Roman's reaction, especially when the crowd is chanting, "Fuck you, Roman," at that particular point, I guarantee you, Kevin Owens with his eyes closed, Roman Reigns in the ring, Sami Zayn knocked out, everybody involved with that, they're saying to themselves, wow, we fucking got them. That's the pinnacle. Because Roman Reigns, if you pay attention for the last 4 months, every time, wherever he goes, acknowledge me. The crowd was popping for Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was getting cheered big. And because of Kevin Owens and because of Sami Zayn, now we have everybody, "Fuck you, Roman." That's when you know you got something special, because people are acknowledging Roman Reigns. Comes back from leukemia. We get stuck in COVID. They reinvent his character. We have a multi-year storyline with twists and turns. And, you know, to the point where everybody is acknowledging that Roman is the biggest ticket seller right now out of anybody in wrestling. You have other wrestlers that are more talented. You have other wrestlers that could do a lot more in the ring, but not many other wrestlers that could get 50,000 people, you know, behind them. You know, and Sami Zayn is not too far behind. The crowd is so into Sami Zayn right now. They love that guy. And yes, Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns sounds like it should happen at the Elimination Chamber. A lot of you out there think it should happen at WrestleMania. It's not going to happen at WrestleMania because Cody Rhodes earned that opportunity. You know, when you saw news reports in the last 48 hours that Triple H and Vince McMahon don't believe that Sami Zayn is a main event guy, let me tell you how disrespectful those articles are. Take note of the timing of that report. After Sami Zayn, in the interview with Ariel Helwani, believes that if Vince McMahon was still in creative, that maybe Sami is not in the position that he's in, because before Triple H took over creative, Roman and Sami were never in the ring together. Somebody sees that, hears that, and says, oh, so Vince has no faith in Sami Zayn. Now everybody and their mother knows Cody Rhodes is getting the title shot at Mania. It's the only way to go. So now they say, oh, well, since Cody's getting the title shot and Sami is not in the Rumble match, we'll say Triple H doesn't believe that Sami is a main eventer either. And that's how dopey shit like that comes out. That's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to Sami Zayn, but people out there got to put shit out there for hits and views. So I'm telling you, if you want to enjoy Royal Rumble that much more, or any of this other shit leading into Mania itself, you got to ignore the noise online, because they will convince you that half the shit you watched tonight was awful. They will convince you that this person's going to show up, and this surprise is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and this person's going to show up at number 3, and this is going to debut, and The Rock's going to do this, and this person's going to do that. And none of it happens. None of it happens. We didn't get Naomi tonight, unfortunately. And I think that out of all the bullshit news, that was the most surprising for me, that more places did not pick up on that. And I think the only reason being was because of Mercedes and AEW. When they got it so brutal, they were convinced Mercedes was going to be there. They had no confirmation. They were just convinced. You know, thinking something's going to happen is fine, but trying to claim that as news when it's not, that's where it goes off the rails. And that saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So they didn't want to repeat the fuck up. So when it came to Naomi, no, it's okay. No. Hey, we're not going to go there this time around. But, you know, they'll put everything else out there. When, WWE is considering having Mighty Mouse take on Gunther. You know, who in WWE is going to go on social media and say, what are you, fucking nuts? We're not considering that match. Nobody, they could say that all day long. They'll say all day long. There's no way of dispelling it. How you dispel it is when you find out that it doesn't happen. What happened to all the reports that Sami Zayn was going to be in the Royal Rumble tonight? It made no sense. It made zero sense. And if you look at our predictions for yesterday, every single one we nailed. Every single one. Now we need to see what happens at Elimination Chamber. And if a women's opportunity pops up there, you know, we'll see if Becky gets it. Because remember, Rhea Ripley's going to challenge Bianca. We have no opponent for Charlotte. I think Becky Lynch is going to take on Charlotte. So now we need Seth Rollins to get into this somehow and Becky Lynch. And then we go from there. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I gave the Royal Rumble tonight. I'll give it an 8.5. Give it an 8.5. The men's and the women's side, it may not be, let me put it this way. I thought in the Royal Rumble where Ric Flair won the championship, I watch it from beginning to end. It's almost like when you put the Pink Floyd, The Wall album on, or Dark Side of the Moon. Dark Side of the Moon is an even better example. Like anybody that's a fan of that album, you listen to it from beginning to end. The idea is that when you tune in, you check out the entire CD in one shot, or whatever, your digital album, whatever, cassette, whatever. So the thing is, you want to enjoy it from beginning to end. This Royal Rumble matches tonight, the 30 women and the 30 men, it's not a match where you want to watch every second from beginning to end. It had its moments. It had its, you know, what it needed to do. But obviously, it's not from beginning to end one that you could just sit there and enjoy every little aspect of it. And the Bray Wyatt LA Knight match, you had to keep it at face value. It was to hype up a drink. It was to hype up a drink. So they were creative with it. We ain't going to see a pitch black match again. We're not going to see it. Listen, some idiot is going to report in the next couple of days that unless Mountain Dew is, you know, looking to, you know, pay for big money again, the pitch black match is not something that's going to. First of all, I don't even know if they can do it WWE because it's owned by, pitch black is owned by Mountain Dew. If they advertise a pitch black match, Mountain Dew could turn around and say, So you're going to see some fool out there that's going to say, oh, WWE's not looking to have another pitch black. No shit. No shit. So, all right. Before we get out of here, I want to just give a couple of super shout outs. And I thank you for being patient tonight. Obviously, we wanted to do the recap first, especially since a couple of things popped up that really didn't have to do with the matches tonight. Quick plug, if you're around tomorrow, if you have any questions coming out of tonight's Rumble, or if you have any comments, I will be live Sunday night at 8 o'clock. I mean, it's going to be a very, very quick and easy show. But to sit down, I basically sit here and I chat about whatever you want to talk about. Not what I want to talk about, what you want to talk about. So before we get out of here for tonight, King of Games 405, thank you for the 10 spot, my friend. Hey, DT, did you happen to see Nick Hausman's question to Seth Rollins? And if so, what was my reaction? Yeah, I will get into it now, and I'll talk about it on Monday as well. Nick Hausman was at the WWE 2K23, you know, whatever they were doing today in conjunction with the Royal Rumble, and wrestlers were available for interviews. And Nick Hausman was there, and he asked Seth Rollins about CM Punk. Would you want to see him in WWE? And Seth Rollins was like calling like, oh, Phil, you're a cancer. I thought it was tongue in cheek more than anything else. I think CM Punk will probably not appreciate the remark, even if it was lighthearted. My honest take on that was, I think Nick Hausman is a very nice guy. I don't know him personally, but I know a few people that know him personally, and they say he's a nice guy. But that guy, I think he's got CM Punk tattooed to his ass. I think he's got this weird fascination with CM Punk. Because remember, Nick Hausman is the one that threw out at that Ring of Honor press conference to Tony Khan, hey, the rumor's true that, that CM Punk was the reason why Colt Cabana was, demoted or almost, he's the one that started it. He was the one that CM Punk called out at the media scrum when he said, you aspire to be a journalist, right? You think CM Punk was being funny with him? You think CM Punk was just joking around? CM Punk snapped. Nick Hausman was the one that he started that night with. So after all of that, this motherfucker brings up CM Punk again. That's the thing that fascinates. I'm not throwing shade at Nick Hausman, but you got some wild fascination with CM Punk, man. I don't know if CM Punk slept with someone that you care about, or I don't even know. I don't even find it funny whether it was a joke. I'm like, you sparked. CM Punk could have still said what he said that night, but he was the journalist that CM Punk was drop it. Know when to say when. That's my honest opinion on it. And I say that lightheartedly because I don't think he means malice by it, but my God, talk about something else. Jesus. For all we know, they might have had a good laugh beforehand, like, hey, we're just a little joke, let's just bring it up because... No! Talk about the fucking video game. That's why you're there, man. You're 2K23. Theme Parks and Things with Johnny with a 10 spot. Thank you, Johnny. I was wrong about Jay White. I didn't get it from websites. For me, it was a guess, but very happy to see Chelsea Green, so I'm good. Yeah, Chelsea Green, when she first came out, we thought, oh, okay, definitely not the leader of Toxic Attraction as some people tried to sell. But when she was mouthing off, walking to the ring, complaining, I'm like, okay, I could see her being this whiny, complainy bitch. By the way, some people were showing that. I think Matt Cardona's father might have been sitting in ringside, so people thought Matt Cardona was going to be in the Royal Rumble tonight. That did not happen. But, let's see what the character goes. She's got to be more than just a whiny bitch or a Karen, if you want to put it that way. And Jay White, like I said, we had this conversation last night. I did not want to see Jay White in the Royal Rumble. Not enough people from the WWE Universe care about Jay White. Not yet. This isn't going to be the AJ Styles moment where his music hits and his name pops up on the screen and everybody's like, wasn't going to happen. And the worst thing you want is 50,000 fans and very few have any reaction whatsoever. That would just be awful. And that's not fair for Jay White. He's not a household name in the United States, whether people want to convince you that or not. So if he appears with WWE, there's many other ways you can introduce him. Royal Rumble was not one of them. So doesn't surprise me at all. DNA with a whopping 20 spot. Much love, DNA. DNA. Anyone else happy with getting Cody? Quote, I want this title because I'm royalty and my daddy deserved it. Rhodes headlining because he negotiated for it last year over Sami J main event. People organically cared for. People, listen, when you are rooting for someone in a storyline, it doesn't mean you totally sabotage 5 members in that storyline because you think what's best for business for those fans is that Sami Zayn defeats Roman Reigns for the championship. Fans want to see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn back together. They want that friendship realigned. Let me tell you something. When they hug on TV, You're going to see people in the crowd crying. You're going to have people on social media. I don't want to screenshot anyone because I don't want to put anybody in. You're going to see people with those memes with the guy crying. It looks like Todd Bridges from Different Strokes. And he's like, you're going to have everybody with the broken heart emoji. I'm crying right now. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But the story is, look at the Festival of Friendship. Nobody wanted Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho to split at that time. People, this is sports entertainment. It's a soap opera. You write a script. Just because everybody's rooting for someone in the movie doesn't mean you suddenly give an alternate ending because, wow, people really... No, you do a storyline. You break people's hearts. That's what the beauty of wrestling is. Cody Rhodes, WWE is the one that saw money in him coming back and becoming champion. And if that was negotiated, that's fine. That's fine. When you negotiate with people to look at Steve Austin, when they negotiated him coming back, it was under circumstances. It wasn't just money. You negotiate with anybody. I have no issue with Cody Rhodes in the main event at WrestleMania. The crowd, for the most part, showed everyone that they were happy with it. Cody Rhodes has had phenomenal matches. What he had with Seth Rollins, he showed everyone, my God, with a torn freaking pec, as I said that night, before everyone else did. He fought with a torn freaking pec. And that shows you how much he gives a shit about, his return in the WWE product. And he wants to show the world, look, I'm not just getting a main event because my daddy wanted it. No, he's backing it up. He's having great fucking matches. If he was just winging it and we were like, I don't see what's with Cody, that's fine. And listen, that's the beauty about wrestling. Not everybody has to like every little thing. Some people get pushed that I don't like. Some people get pushed that you don't like. So Cody is and look, he battled back. And that guy, definitely has earned, the spot. And look, over the years, when Triple H came back, way back when Cena showed up at the Royal Rumble, I think in 2006, when you get surprise returns and somebody shows up we haven't seen in a while and wins the whole thing, that's happened many times in the past. The only reason why people don't bring it up right now is because most of the people that might be in that position, they may not agree with. So I'm fine with Cody Rhodes. And remember, we're going to have two champions again. So the big question is, if Cody ends up with one of those belts, and maybe Cody ends up with two, he'll lose one of them almost immediately. I just don't see Cody winning both titles. I think out of the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship, I think Cody goes for the WWE Championship. I think, especially as a Rhodes family member and a tribute to his dad, I think having the WWE Championship and his career resume, I think, is 1,000 times more important than, I'm going to drink with a cap on, than a Universal Championship. But thank you for that. I appreciate it. And I respect your views on it. Not everybody's a Cody fan. I don't blame you. I mean, before he left AEW, there was quite a few people that were not happy with Cody. Theme Parks with Johnny with another 10 spot. Thank you, Johnny. As an AEW fan, I'd be willing to bet that if AEW did this, IWC would be popping for the Pitch Black match. Again, not everybody complained. I think people were just happy that Bray Wyatt was back in the match. I think, the match was a lot shorter than we expected. I was very surprised at how many people had expected Bray Wyatt to lose. And if you remember the predictions yesterday, once we saw this, imagine Undertaker whispering in his ear and he loses anyway. I think once that happened, Bray Wyatt was winning this match. The people I talked to thought it was fine because we kept in perspective what it was. It was like sci-fi. It's promoting a product. at least they didn't drink the beverage. You know what I mean? At least it wasn't on a pole. You know, at least we didn't have like where they had to like drink. I'm just saying that to be stupid funny. It was to promote a product, and it was sponsored by Mountain Dew. You know, hey, at least they didn't dress up like a beverage. Remember when Kentucky Fried Chicken, Dolph Ziggler dressed up as the Colonel? Didn't Shawn Michaels dress up as the Colonel? So I honestly, if you keep the match in perspective, remember too, doesn't Bray Wyatt have a broken finger? And I know some of you may be like, oh, it's just a finger. It's a little more than that, and they probably had to be a little careful as well. But look, it did what it needed to do. LA Knight is not, his career is not ruined because of it. It was, what it was. There was a table spot, glow in the dark Singapore canes. Again, it's like Saudi Arabia. When Saudi Arabia pays that kind of money and we want the greatest of this, or we want this cup, or it's best in the world. Honestly, anybody ever truly think that Shane McMahon in his mind thought that he was the best in the world? No, it was a gimmick that Saudi Arabia wanted and they paid big money for, so WWE tries to hype it up. An advertiser pays you big money, you kind of reflect what they want. And he did it in a creative way where there was a balance. You're promoting a drink. That's why you had the colors that you had. And at the same time, you're doing a feud. Now, the question is, where does LA Knight and Bray Wyatt go from here? We'll find out soon. I think LA Knight, maybe you keep him off TV for a week or two. Sell, yeah, Uncle Howdy, just a bit outside. Missed him by that much. Thank you, Johnny. And for tonight, we're going to wrap this up. Devin M. Last question, brother. Do they finally split the belts off of Roman? Sami gets the Universal. Cody gets WWE. Yeah, that's where No. Not Sami. Sami, listen. Let's use the Mercedes Moné New Japan AEW as an example. Mercedes Moné inked a 7-digit deal with New Japan Pro Wrestling. You were never going to have Mercedes, before she has her first match for New Japan, you were never going to have Mercedes, who just inked a crazy deal with New Japan, and show up in AEW first. It would have made zero sense, even if Tony Khan said, I'll see what New Japan gave you and I'll double it. Doesn't matter. New Japan stepped up first, and Mercedes made the deal with New Japan. You're not going to upstage New Japan for AEW. Whether you fantasize or not, you're not going to upstage Cody Rhodes winning the championship over Roman Reigns by having Sami Zayn do it first. And if Sami Zayn takes on Roman Reigns at the Elimination Chamber, you're not having Sami Zayn win even the Universal title at Chamber before Cody gets his shot at Mania. It would take it away because Roman hasn't been pinned. Roman lost a tag match with Sami. Sami was pinned. Roman hasn't been pinned in years. You're not going to have Roman Reigns get pinned by anybody but Cody Rhodes the next time around. That's why Sami doesn't win the championship. I hope that was a good answer. I really believe that. I really believe that. As much as, listen, Sami winning the tag titles, hugging it up with Kevin Owens and them holding the tag titles for a decent amount of time, I think the fans will be just fine with that. Just fine with that. Both of them champions, equal platform? Absolutely. All right. Let me know what you thought about tonight's Royal Rumble. You're welcome to leave a comment in the comment section, obviously. For everybody who was part of the predictions contest on the Patreon, patreon.com/Don Tony, or the Elite channel members here on YouTube, I will compute the scores probably Sunday night. So I think by Monday we will have winners announced. And once again, don't forget, Sunday night, 8:05 p.m. I think my voice will hold up. I'll be here live for the sit down. So tomorrow, if you have any questions that you want me to answer, any comments, get them in your head, get them ready, because at 8 o'clock Sunday night, we will get into them. We will not be here for that long. I think everybody out there needs a good night's sleep. Right here in New York, it is 2:40 a.m. And, I guarantee you by 9 this morning, my wife is going to be waking me up. Are you taking me for breakfast? I let you fucking do 5.5 hours of the Royal Rumble and then a 2-hour podcast. You better be taking me out for breakfast. I love her, so I probably will. But, I got to get myself some sleep, and I ain't done. I got to put this online. I got to post it everywhere. I got to do some editing, some splicing. But I tell you, under the circumstances, putting all those video clips and the photos together, I think we had a pretty, flowing show tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed putting it together for all of you out there, so that's what matters. But I'm going to jet out of here, so you'll have a good night. And for everyone who is still here after all this time tonight, props to you, man, because I guarantee you're probably even more exhausted than I am. And the fact that you hung around, I know the shirt says that my give-a-shit meter might be on empty. For all of you, no joke. It's at full. So you have a good night. Get a good night's sleep. And I'll see you all again, hopefully Sunday. If not Sunday, then Monday. And if not Monday, Tuesday. Oh, and by the way, the interview we were supposed to do with Matt Riddle's girlfriend, Misha Montana, she actually texted me tonight. But I saw it too late, and I know there's a 3-hour time difference where they're at, but I wasn't going to call this late tonight. So I'll probably reach out to her tomorrow, and we'll figure out when we're going to do this thing. And, we'll go from there. So be well. Talk to you all soon.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a podcaster. For me to live any other way was nuts. To me, those goody-good people who worked shitty jobs for bum paychecks and took the subway to work every day and worried about their bills were dead. I mean, they were suckers. They had no balls. If I wanted something, I just took it. I ran everything. I paid the bills. I paid the hosts. I even paid the masked maniac. Everybody had their hands out. Everything was for the taking. We always called each other good fellas. You would always hear from somebody. You're gonna like Don Tony. He's all right. He's a good fella. He's one of us. But if you're part of my crew, nobody ever tells you they're gonna get rid of you. It doesn't happen that way. There weren't any arguments or curses like in the movies. See, your haters come with smiles. They come as your friends, the people who've claimed they care the most for your life. And now that's all over. And that's the best part. Today everything is different. There's lots of action. I don't have to wait around for everything like everyone else. Oh, I didn't get the vaccine? Fuck you, vaccine me. Oh, your delivery guy has COVID? Fuck you, feed me. Right after I moved here, I ordered egg noodles and ketchup, and I got spaghetti with meat sauce. I'm no longer an average nobody, while they get to live the rest of their lives like a bunch of schnooks.